The derelict station creaked like a dying beast. Jonas Keene pressed his scarred palm against the airlock, feeling the vibrations of failing gravity stabilizers through the metal. 3 days he'd been tracking the distress beacon, and now he stood before a door that hadn't been opened in weeks, maybe months. The door hissed open, revealing darkness cut only by the red emergency lighting. Jonas stepped through, his toolkit clinking against his hip. The outer rim stations like this one had been abandoned during the war. Nobody wanted to remember what humanity had done to the Vareth people. But the beacon was recent, which meant someone was still here. "Stay back," a voice called from the shadows. Small, young, terrified. Jonas froze, raising his hand slowly. "I'm not here to hurt anyone." A figure emerged into the crimson light. She was tiny, barely reaching Jonas's waist, with skin that shimmered like oil on water, shifting between deep purples and blues. Her eyes were too large for her face, luminescent and filled with tears. She held a plasma cutter in both hands, the tool almost as big as she was, aimed directly at his chest. "Lyrae," Jonas said softly, reading the name stitched on her torn environmental suit. "That's a beautiful name. Are you here to hurt our mother too?" The little alien girl's voice cracked. "She's dying." Jonas's stomach twisted. He'd seen the aftermath of the war. The chemical weapons humanity had deployed against Vareth colonies. The slow, agonizing deaths they caused. "No," he said firmly. "I'm a mechanic. I fix things." "The distress beacon. I activated it," Lyrae interrupted, her antenna-like appendages drooping. "The medical pod is broken. Mother is inside, but the temperature regulation failed. She's getting worse." Jonas lowered his hand slightly. "Can I see?" Lyrae studied him for a long moment, those alien eyes searching his face for deception. Finally, she lowered the plasma cutter and turned, gesturing for him to follow. "The humans killed everyone else," she whispered. "Father, my brothers, everyone at the colony. Mother brought me here to hide, but then she got sick." The words hit Jonas like physical blows. He'd been a soldier once before he became a mechanic. Before he'd seen what their weapons really did. Before he'd deserted, they entered what had once been the station's medical bay. In the center stood a stasis pod, its control panel sparking intermittently. Through the frosted glass, Jonas could see the prone form of an adult Vareth, her skin flickering between sickly yellows and grays. "How long has she been in there?" Jonas asked, already pulling tools from his kit. 17 days. The pod was supposed to slow the poison in her blood, but now it's failing. Lyrae's voice was barely audible. "I tried to fix it, but I'm too small and I don't understand human technology." Jonas knelt beside the pod, his trained eyes scanning the damage. The primary cooling system had blown and the backup was running on fumes. Without it, the stasis field would collapse completely, and Lyrae's mother would die within hours. "Listen to me, Lyrae," Jonas said, making eye contact. "This is fixable, but I need you to trust me. Why should I?" Tears streamed down her iridescent cheeks. "Humans destroyed everything." Jonas paused, then pulled up his sleeve, revealing the burn scars that covered his forearm. Marks from when he'd pulled Vareth civilians from a burning colony transport, disobeying direct orders. "Because some of us are trying to fix what we broke," he said quietly. "Because your mother doesn't deserve to die, and neither do you." Lyrae's antenna quivered. Then slowly she nodded. For the next 6 hours, Jonas worked. Lyrae assisted, her small hands perfect for reaching into tight spaces he couldn't access. She passed him tools, held wires steady, and watched every move he made with intense concentration. They didn't speak much, but something unspoken passed between them, an understanding that transcended species. When Jonas finally reactivated the cooling system, the pod hummed back to life with a healthy purr. The display stabilized, showing vital signs strengthening. Lyrae pressed her hands against the glass, a sound like a sob escaping her throat. "She's going to make it," Jonas said, exhaustion hitting him all at once. "The stasis will hold now. But she needs real medical treatment, not just life support." "Where?" Lyrae asked, turning to him. "The colonies are gone. The hospitals won't treat Vareth." Jonas pulled out his comm unit, scrolling through contacts until he found the one he needed. "There's a doctor on Kepler Station, Dr. Sarah Chen. She runs an underground clinic for refugees." No questions asked, no species turned away. He knelt down to Lyrae's level. "I'll take you both there. My ship can make the journey in 4 days. Why are you doing this?" Lyrae's eyes searched his face again. "What do you want?" Jonas thought about all the things he'd done during the war, all the things he couldn't undo. I want to believe that humanity can be better than its worst moments, he said. I want kids like you to grow up without hating us, without having reason to. Lee was quiet for a long moment. Then she stepped forward and wrapped her small arms around Jonas's leg, the closest thing to a hug her size allowed. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you for not being like the others. Jonas felt something break inside his chest, and for the first time in years he allowed himself to hope. He gently patted her head, careful of her delicate antenna. Come on, kid. Let's get your mother to the ship. We've got a long journey ahead. As they worked together to move the medical pod, Jonas made a silent promise. He would get them to safety. He would make sure they had a future, and he would spend the rest of his life proving that humanity could choose compassion over cruelty. One small act of kindness at a time, one little alien girl who decided to trust again. That was how humanity would truly earn its place among the stars, not through conquest, but through the courage to heal what it had broken.